Hi, Best Buds. It's Cathy with Cathy's Garden. I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today we're going to use book page images and we're going to make an easy envelope junk journal. But first, let's have our shout out to Tammy, Judy, Julie, Sheila, Black Coffee, Lenny, and the Gracie Show. I appreciate each and every one of you. I've used this little book before in making ephemera, and I've almost used up all the pictures out of it. So I'm thinking I could probably use the cover and make it into a little junk journal. But this is the book that we're going to use today. I'm going to pick an image out of it. I actually have already picked the image, but these are the envelopes that I'm going to use. They're A2 size, and they are 4 by 6.5 inches and by 5 by 7.75 inches. So that's what they are. And so they're creamy color. That's why I picked a creamy. They came in white and cream and a darker brown color. So I went ahead and I inked around the edges, and I see here that I want to really ink just a little bit more here. So I'm going to do that. I've inked around the edges. I've inked this opening right here. Just ink that just a little bit more. I've inked around this way as well. So what we want to do, I've already cut, and so it will just speed up things. So let's see, let's look at the image. Isn't it a sweet little image? So I'm going to be using purples and pinks and that kind of color. See, they go nicely together. So we're going to do that. We're going to add that later. But first, what I want to do is I want to take one envelope, and we open a book this way. So I'm going to take the envelope that's in my right hand, and I'm going to stick the flap inside the other envelope like that, so that this flap wraps around and makes a nice smooth fold right there. So let's go ahead and let's do that. I'm going to use my art glitter glue. You use the glue of your choice, and that will be perfect. And once again, a little stuffed up. I was just using this glue prepping. I got a little clump there. I do have one that I've completed, and I can show you at the end. It's going to be a totally different color, and it is using an image out of the same book. All right, so I didn't butt it up. I didn't put it right up against. I gave it a little bit of room to be able to, well, I thought I did, yeah, to fold easily. Okay, so then I'm going to have to just roll this around like that, and I really need to roll it around a little better than that. There we go. That's perfect. So what I want to do now is open it back up, and I'm actually going to glue this flap down on the back side. So remember, this wrapped around. I'm just going to glue it down. Okay. So the next thing is I'm going to take my sponge, and I'm just going to make it a little darker here in the middle, just a little bit. All right. This is chapter 1 papers right here, and I've already cut them, and they will fit inside. But first, what I want to do is I want to put my book page image inside on the back. So this is going to be the back covering of my envelope. So it's going to sit in just like that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to add just a little bit of glue at the bottom and then some at the top like that. I don't need a lot to hold it in there. And I'm just going to hopefully get this picked up and slide it in. Hopefully I can get it in there and it won't dry before I do. I'm just going to press it down Okay, so that one's already finished. And then there's this one. Now what I'm going to do is, I haven't inked this one yet, and all you need to do is, in inking the inside covering, is ink right here, a little bit on the corner, and then on the one side that's open, right here that's open to the envelope. That's the pocket. And so I'm just making sure this fits in nicely. It's not going to catch. All right. Excuse me. All right, so a little bit of glue, and then a little bit more right here at the front. And then I'm going to see if I can't get this to slip in. If I pucker it up and pull it up just a little bit, sometimes it goes in easier. And I'm going to pull it right to the edge, but not over the fold. So it's like that. You can see that there's just a little bit of space. So when I fold it, crease it right here, I'm just lining it up, making sure it's all perfect. When I crease it, I'm not going to be creasing any of the papers inside. So these I have cut to fit inside as well. And what I want to do is, I think I want to turn it this way. Yeah, I think I want the flowers on the bottom. I'm going to put this inside of my envelope right here. And then I'm going to get, I've got it somewhere, it's a little Sharpie, and I chose that because I think you would be able to see it easier. And I'm going to mark it, and I am not turning my digital or my print this way, because even though it's made by a machine, if I turn it this way and I trace it out, I cut it, and I put it back this way, it's not going to look as good. I don't know what it is, but they're not perfect little envelopes. So I find it's much easier to do it this way. I'm going to actually, well, that didn't come out very well. Okay, there we go. Lifting this up. Good, come on now, Cathy, get it out. So that's where I'm going to cut. Now I'm looking for my scissors here. I'm actually going to cut it, so I'm cutting away the mark, just like that, because I want some of this envelope to show. I want it to show around the edge. So it's not showing as much as I want, so I'm going to cut just a tiny sliver off of here. And I want it to show around. Now let's see how we're doing here. Not quite as much as I want. So I'm going to cut a little bit more. Now let's look and see how we're doing. Okay, let's go ahead and ink this up. So I am going to need to ink this up all the way around. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be right back. All right, I have it all inked up and it's ready to go. So let's go ahead and take the glue and just run it around the outside edge, and maybe just a little bit inside. Put my lid back on and go ahead and position it right here. Let's see here. Yeah, that will do nicely. Press it down. So there we have that envelope covered. Isn't that gorgeous? That is so pretty. Now what we did was we took our print up the side that we want to show, to have on the front of this part right here. Got that in there so it fits well. Get our little marker, and we're just going to mark right like this. And then we're going to take it back out, and I'm going to trim. I'm going to trim on the outside of that mark because I do want some of that envelope to show. I like that look when that envelope shows. And I think I want to take just a little bit off the bottom here. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off the bottom so that now the envelope shows all the way around. And once again, I'm going to get my ink and I'm going to ink this all the way around. I've inked it all the way around, and now I'm just going to get my glue, and I'm just going to put my glue around the edge and maybe a little bit inside, and then simply lay it in place. There we go. And you don't have to worry about being perfect because you have left space around where the envelope shows. So if you're off, it just doesn't matter. It looks just fine. I'm going to bring in my dish here because let's go ahead and let's finish right here. I think I want that one for my cover, but I would like to put a couple of butterflies, and I think I want that one for the front. Let's pull in our picture again and just look and see real quick. I'm thinking I wanted that for the front. I think I do want that butterfly. It's a little bit smaller, not as heavy feeling. Yes, I want this one for the front, and I want that label for the front. Put that back over here, put this back over here. Now let's look at our little butterflies and our label. Now the butterflies, I think the butterflies are from Art. I'm going to have to look it up, and then I'm going to have to put it down below in the items used, because Art Smart Crafts, I think it is. I think it's what I want to say. I'm hoping it's right. And the labels are from by JLeeloo, but like I said, I will list it down below. And I'm just going to place it right here. And I need to put a little bit of glue right where that tail is. And then over here, I'm going to put it down below. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue here onto the label so I can pick this label up and position it where I want with the butterfly. I find that way to be easier. At least for me, it is. Because I only have to position one item and not try to fumble with getting the butterfly underneath the label. All right, so isn't that cute? That's so cute. Let's go ahead and talk about the front. Now, the front, I am literally just going to use this just like that on the front of this and then add just a few pieces. So this is just going to be so nice and easy to make this little junk journal. Now I have inked around the edge. Someone's going to say, what size is this image? This is 4 inches by 5.5 approximately. And it fits pretty nicely on there. So what I want to do is I want to get my glue, and I'm simply going to, yes, I'm going to, don't even look. Somebody's going to have to be sacrificed. It's just the way it goes with some of the book pages. They put pictures behind pictures, but it's okay. I've gotten lots and lots of use out of this book, and I'm so pleased with this book and the images that it offered me. So here we go. I have got my picture on there, just like that. Now I have a little bit of lace, and it's kind of gathered on its own. So I want to place it right here. I want to lay it right there, put it right on the edge. I think that would be super sweet. So I'm just going to take my hot glue gun because the hot glue makes it quick and easy and permanent, and it's great for the video. So that's why I like to use the hot glue in the video. Okay, so we're just gluing it down. I'm going to get my little scissors and we're just going to trim the ends. So trimming the ends. All right, so we've got that done. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to bring that butterfly back with the label and see about positioning it. I think I want it about like that, so I'm going to get my glue and put a little glue on the butterfly and get it positioned like I like, so I can pick the whole thing up, and I want to place it about right here. Yeah, I think that will be just fine. And I got to get that tail down. I don't have any glue on that little tail. There we go. All right, so far looking really cute. I have a little bit of Sari silk. It's in that lavendery color. Now there's lavender in these sweet peas right here. So what I want to do is I'm going to use the method of making a pleat by pinching my fingers, or you could get a card and push it up like this. I've done that also. And sometimes when it's really little and I'm just working with a little bit, sometimes it's easier for me to just use my fingers. I'm going to use the hot glue, but you can use the fabric tack and do the exact same thing with fabric tack. I'm just removing some of the little strings there. Crimson Heart Studio is where this Sari silk came from, and I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue at a time, because when I do it with the hot glue dries very quickly, and I can't get it all pleated if I don't do a little bit at a time. Okay, might be going a little crooked here. There we go. And just a little bit more here, and pleat that up like that. And I'm going to take it to the bottom. I am going to go all the way to the bottom with this, mainly because my lace on this side is all the way to the bottom, so I just wanted to take this one to the bottom. A little bit of extra glue there. Isn't that sweet? Let's trim it right here. Give it a trim. Now I have right here, I have a little bit of bling, and I thought maybe a little bit of bling here, and then maybe we could use one of the pieces of bling for the body of the butterfly. So let's get this turned the right way here. Yeah, I think that's going to look great. So a little bit of glue right here on the body of the butterfly, and pop it on, and then I think over to the side a little more right here. A little bit of glue, and then just press it down. Now for the pages, what we want to do for the pages is I have, oh, I didn't do the back of it either. Okay, so the back, let's finish the back before we do the pages. I just have a book page, and I am going to take my glue, and I am simply going to put glue on the back around the edge like this. This is the only thing that I'm not making smaller than the envelope. I'm making it the same size of the envelope, because this is the easy version, right? We're making the easy version of this. We're simply just placing this down just right on top of your book page and pressing. All right, so then all we need to do is to get our scissors, and I should have done this before I put the lace. It would have been a whole lot easier, but I forgot. I forgot that I should have put the back on before I put the lace on the side. But it's okay, we can still get it cut. We can still cut it by doing this, okay? We can still get around it and complete it. All right, very, very nice. Now let's look at the back. Perfect. Now all you'll need to do is just take your ink and just ink around the edge. Now you all know how to do that. Let's go back to the signature. I have a piece of book page, and I'm going to fold it in half the long way. Oh, someone's going to ask me what size this is. This is 10.5 by 8. Okay, fold it in half, and then I'm going to fold it in half again. Okay, and then right here at the top, because this is a fold and this is a fold, right there at the top, what I want to do is I'm going to bring in my little guillotine, and I'm going to just chop that off. So I end up with 2 pieces. Okay, very, very simple. Now you can add quite a few pages in here. I think I might have taken 2 book pages in my example. Let's fold this like this. Now this is just a tiny bit bigger than my book page, tiny bit, not a lot, but a tiny bit. Okay, give it a chop. So now on this, I did round the corners on my book, my copy dyed paper. And my copy paper, which is copy dyed, that's what I really meant to say. I'm going to put it this way because I like those pages to be on top. And I do believe I did 2 of those book pages. So I'm going to grab another book page and fold it and cut it, and then we're going to sew it in. All right, I folded it and I trimmed it, so now I have them. So I'm actually going to put my book pages in between my coffee dyed papers, because my coffee dyed papers, well, the book page is coffee dyed too. My copy paper is a little heavier than my other, and it just works out a little better if I do it that way. I'm looking for my ink. I always like to ink just a little bit on the front page and a little bit on the back page, just a little bit. All right, so let's stick this in here and see how we're doing here. Place that in there. I want to make sure, yeah, that top is going the way I want it. And place it right in here, just like that. See, it's not going to show, not at all. Perfect. Wasn't hard at all to get our pages ready. Now, this is my thread that I'm going to use to sew it, and this is what I always do, is I say, I've got my thread, I say 1, 2, 3. That will always give you enough. Now if you're going to put a dangle, I always do 4. I do 1 extra one, but I'm not going to put a dangle on this one. And it will always give you enough, because you do not want to run out when you're in the middle of stitching a signature. You don't want to run out of thread to sew it in with. Now I am going to place this in here, just like that. I'm going to grab some paper clips, and I'm just simply going to paper clip it in, just very simply, just like that. Now I always make myself a template, and to do that you're going to need a strip the length of your journal, and this one happens to be about 1 inch wide. Then I fold that in half, and then I fold it in half again, and then I fold it in half again. Then I open it up, and where the folds intersect, I put a dot. I use this one because I made one as an example earlier that I'll show you. Now, if you're new at this, you will definitely want to go ahead and pin this in place. If you're an expert, and you've done it for a long time or quite a while, that's awfully tight. You might not have to. I didn't do it on the one I'm going to show you in a minute. But if you're new and you haven't done it a lot, I would suggest you do that. Okay? So what you want to do is, I've got a piece of packing material. I have my awl, or AKA pokey tool, and I'm going to pull it up like this. And I'm going to take my awl and I'm going to stick it right where there's that mark. And there's 3 marks, so I'm going to make 3 holes. You want to try to keep it straight up and down. If you go at an angle, you're going to have difficulty trying to find that hole once you take your measure thing off, and you get your thread and your needle, and you try to find your hole. You're going to be fishing around. Has anybody ever taken their your earrings out, your pierced earrings out way too early, and then you're fishing around? It makes you absolutely nauseous. But yeah, I've been there, done that for myself and for others, trying to find that hole again. Yeah, it's really bad. But anyway, it doesn't make you nauseous when you can't find your hole for your signature, but it can be upsetting. All right, so we take it out. You don't want to sew it in. You take your needle and you're going to go right down into the middle. And I'm going to have to shorten this. This is way, just went a little bit there. You're going to go right into the middle, the middle hole. And you're going to pull it through, and you're going to hang on to this piece right here. You're going to go into one of the other holes. It doesn't matter which one. You're going to go into it, and you're going to pull it tightly. You're going to make sure nothing's caught. You're going to go down to the bottom hole, or the opposite hole of where you were. Okay. Then you're going to go back into the center hole. And when you come up, you want to be at the opposite side of this center string. So, let me see here. Let me pull this over here and this over here. So you want this thread to come on the opposite side of this thread. Opposite. Okay. So then I'm going to cut this. I'm going to free my needle so I can show you. Got too much going on here, guys. Free my needle, put it away so don't lose it. You're going to check to make sure not only is it not caught, but that it's tight. You don't want to pull it so tight you rip your pages, but you need to have it tight, because if you don't have it tight, or maybe one's tight and not the other's tight, then your signature is going to be wobbly. We don't want wobbly signatures. So just tie it, just like that. And this is where you'd put a dangle if you left yourself enough. You'd put a dangle. I've done many dangles on my videos before, but today we're doing the easy envelope junk journal, so it's not going to be a dangle this time. And there we have it. Our pages are sewn in. We have 2 pockets. Oh my goodness. The front, the back. It is so adorable. I take the glare off of it. It is so adorable. Now, here's one that I made earlier. It looks like this. It's the fall colors. Oh, I love fall colors. I love the oranges and the yellows. It is so sweet, just the same. Now see, I put some postcards in here, and so it will fit a faux postcard or even a real postcard. You can put some little notes in it. You could send this out in Happy Mail. You could put it inside of a journal. You could put it in a satchel, in a bag. You could give it as a gift. Oh my goodness, you guys, I absolutely love these easy envelope junk journals using book page images. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.